Hello, I am Vladimir Rogojin, creator of Unicity protocols. I am practical crypto anarchist, and I will explain you how we are going to solve practically Satoshi Nakamoto vision with Unicity. When first time I have learned about Bitcoin, I was so excited about the idea that I could actually manage and hold and store my all finances within my own computer, my own server, under my own custody, and not delegate it to some commercial banks or central banks or some other kind of third-party services out there. So I quickly installed Bitcoin, start running it, bought some Bitcoin and start doing some transactions. I was so happy for doing that, but I quickly realized that there is one problem here. You have to spend hours and spend tons of space on your computer just to synchronize and keep your Bitcoin node up to date with the rest of the network. So clearly this is a little bit not very practical, and especially if you go to other chains like Ethereum or something else, you need a special hardware, big powerful servers, and extremely good, exceptionally good internet connection just to keep up with the rest of the network. So which makes basically most of the people to, instead of running the full nodes on their machines, to rely on some third-party endpoints that can basically deliver the current state of the network, but without delivering all the cryptographic proofs. So you basically have to exercise some sort of trust to others. I was thinking how to solve this problem. I still want to have a full custody of all my crypto assets, on all my computations, if we talk about smart contracts, on everything, without spending thousands of dollars just to buying and running some servers and spending lots of time to managing all this. I just want to take my smartphone and have everything in there and fully cryptographically verified, so I don't need to trust anyone, but still be practical and still have everything, full custody and sovereignty of my own assets and computations. So here we come with the idea of Unicity. Once, 6 years back or so, I don't remember exactly, I was walking on some Estonian beach and thinking the whole day how this could be solved. There must be some simple solution here. It should be possible. And I figure out, hey, why we storing all the crypto assets and transactions on the same chain? Why everyone should see what everyone else is doing and verify it? It doesn't make sense. I, for instance, don't care if my friend Marty is sending some money to my friend Mike. I don't care. What I care about, if my friend Pavel sends money to me and then I verify that this money have correct origin, all the transactions are authorized and authenticated, and now I am the real owner of this. So here everyone has custody on their own crypto assets, locally on their phones, on their devices. So let's say these guys, they all manage their assets locally. Nothing on chain. All your coins stay here, here, here. Everything is local now. So then, of course, when I send my coin, it should contain all the cryptographic proofs of its correct origin, where it came from, like for instance, coin-based transaction, and the whole chain of transactions that led to my ownership was correct. It means all the transactions have been signed cryptographically correctly, it corresponded to the public keys of previous owners, and so on. So fine, when I want to pay Mike, for instance, when I want to send to Mike some coins, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my coin here, I'm going to take one record. Now this coin belongs to Mike, not to Vladimir anymore, but it belongs to Mike. All right? I'm going to package it in some file, let's say some JSON, and then send physically this to Mike. by messenger, by email, by some, this is mouse, by flash drive, whatever. So now Mike, this coin goes to Mike, let's say. Mike has full custody of this. However, there is one question you should ask. Why we have so much of a trouble here? Why we had to work with consensus algorithm on the Bitcoin in the first place, on another chains? Why we have to worry about this? Because this is just a file on my computer. I can do whatever I like. It's just sequence of bits. I can just copy it, create a copy of this file, and instead of Mike, I can put, let's say, Ahto. Right? So now I say that it doesn't belong to him, but belongs to Ahto. I created digitally signed transaction that says, okay, now the ownership of this coin goes to Ahto, and I deliver this physically, this file to Ahto. So now Ahto has this file and can say, hey, now I have this kind of coin. Now I got this coin from Vladimir and can do some services for him or something. The problem is clear. So the same coin was transferred to Mike and to Ahto. And the question is how, because we are clearly in double spend situation here. So the same coin was replicated. That's should never happen. You cannot build financial system by definition where finances can be just replicated like that. We need some proofs, cryptographic proofs that could be verified in standalone mode, independently by everyone upon reception, that at any life cycle of a coin, from the genesis to owner 1, to owner 2, and so forth, to owner k, we have to prove that never ever we created a copy of the coin and sent it to some other alternative owner. So this is the biggest problem. How to solve this? Well, apparently we still need to use the same approach as Bitcoin Satoshi Nakamoto was using, right? We still need some consensus algorithm. So why not to use some kind of Bitcoin-like network, like based on proof of work, or you can use proof of stake or something else, something that proves unicity here, some unicity anchor. So we have, let's say, proof of work chain here. But coins live outside of this chain now. And another point of view, I don't want to write too much of data inside this chain. I want it to be practical. I wanted that everyone could load it locally and fully rerun it and verify it. So what should we do about this? One thing is to send some cryptographic material about every state spent, every transaction, when we change the ownership of a coin, to record directly inside the chain. But what if we have millions of coins here? Our blocks are going to be still huge and we are not really solving much here. So this solution is still not fully scalable, let's say. Yes, we have consensus, that's great. We still can prove single spends for every coin here, every time we do a transaction. But this solution is still not that really scalable. There is still a problem. But the way how this can be solved is pretty much obvious. Use some aggregator data structure. Aggregator data structure that aggregates all spends that have been ever made. These spends are authentic, self-authenticated. That means that no one else can spend your coin on your behalf. You cryptographically prove it. And that interesting aggregator data structure should provide proofs that this spend is indeed was really done, and it was anchored to unicity anchor here in blockchain, and then in this, which proves automatically that we don't have alternative data structure like this at any time point, and this thing corresponds to your specific spend here, like this. And another thing, of course, this large data structure is going to be huge if we're talking about massive amount of transactions at any time point, like millions, for instance. It's going to be huge. this data structure should be naturally and easily fragmentable physically. So in sense that different operators are going to run different fragments of this data structure. They don't have to be trusted at all. They have to be trustless, because the data structure itself constructed in such a way, if any of the operators try to do something wrong here, like for instance delete some record here or modify values here, it automatically becomes invalid. For that aggregated data structure, we decided to choose some version of sparse Merkle trees. So it's basically a hash tree with the proven property that if you have something here, it generates clear proof, cryptographic proof that could be fully verified by anyone independently, that this, let's say, entry is part of the whole set. And if you don't have anything here, you also get reliable proof that something is not here. So we're talking about inclusion and non-inclusion proofs. So that's it. Enough of cryptography for here. So the whole Unicity concept is about moving computations, crypto assets, from blockchain itself outside, moving aggregation of all transactions from the blockchain outside. So in Bitcoin we have this. In Bitcoin we have blocks, cryptographically linked blocks. Inside these blocks we have a set of transactions. These transactions are aggregated and we generate a block header with a hash, the Merkle tree that aggregates all this. Right? Plus we have consensus that algorithmically shows that we always eventually having the same view on every block here. The problem is here, if this set of transactions becomes too large, the whole thing becomes unscalable. So first, what we have done, we decoupled the functionality of a blockchain here. First of all, we moved out the transactions. So the storage layer and execution layer now stays at user's machine. So everyone stores and manages their own tokens, crypto assets. Aggregation layer. This is basically UTXO database that being constructed by every node independently when they run chain. So they see what transactions have been executed. They spend all transactions and create, transaction outputs and create new unspent transaction outputs. So this is basically a database of UTXOs. Of course, if you have millions of transactions here, it's going to be large. It can be billions, okay? Too large. So what is aggregator actually? This is a verifiable, trustless, distributed database of UTXOs. So this is our UTXO database. From here you see right away what has been spent. You get the cryptographic proof that has been spent. And since this whole thing, this whole aggregator data structure is fully self-verifiable, you can delegate it to untrusted hosts. And plus, it's also splittable. So everyone can run some fragment of it. And still, we are sure, absolutely sure, that everything is super correct here. So we split blockchain into different levels. Execution storage, one level, goes to users, user side. Millions of users, millions of hardware storing their own tokens. UTXO database, aggregator, being executed by many different servers, as many as you wish. If there is demand for more computation and more storage, more servers will join for running operating fragments of aggregator for rewards. And then we have traditional Nakamoto Bitcoin-like blockchain that records only, that runs only consensus and records only root hashes of our aggregator data structure whenever a new block. In this way, we have full connection here. So we have consensus algorithm ensuring single view on a hash root of our aggregator data structure, which means that our aggregator structure is always provably unique at every given time point. And this aggregator data structure stores all spanned outputs that have been ever made. That's it.